Audio check 1 2 3. Audio check 1 2 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We're here for the 17th round of the Formula 1 League Season 2 on the Codemasters Formula 1 game on the PlayStation 4 and 5. Some of you will know a couple of rounds ago the championship was wrapped up by this man here, the provisional pollster to Joram. Has already taken the Season 2 title, but we've still got some very great racing left to be seen out on track for this season. I'm sure of that. We got 19 cars in this qualifying session. I believe we've got 20 in the session, so in the lobby, should I say. So we'll be having a full 20 car grid for this race, which is obviously brilliant. We love to see as many cars out on the track as possible. We've got a few drivers making their debuts tonight in the F1 League, which is going to be very exciting to witness. So it's going to be, we're going to see the Mutts Nuts making his F1 debut, regular in our Project Cars 2 leagues on the touring cars, which will be in later tonight, and he also races in the GTEs as well on a Sunday night. He's making his F1 debut. We've never seen him in these F1 cars before at Motive, so it's going to be very exciting to see how he's getting on. He's currently 1.3 seconds off for the fastest time, being set by Joram at this point, so the Mutts Nuts is really kicking on here at the start of his Formula 1 career at Motive. We've also got a couple of new drivers who are waiting in the lobby. Falguest, I believe, is going to be racing tonight, and also RDJ, who raced last time out at Circuit of the Americas for the US Grand Prix. So he'll be making his second appearance tonight on the channel. Beammasher not here, unfortunately, so we won't be seeing him out on the track, but hey, we've got a full grid of cars tonight, so this is going to be an exciting night as we're watching the Mutts Nuts coming through the final part of the lap, and he's just coming into the pits, so he's clearly doesn't feel that he's on the improvement this time around, so in he comes. Let's make sure we know what tyres people are on. So so basically the top 14 are all on the soft tyres. You've got Bennett LCFC has done a lap on the mediums, but it hasn't really got him the lap time that I'm sure he would be wanting to have set at this point in the session. Bennett is one of the regulars here at Motive on a Friday night. Also won his first race here at Motive last Friday in the US Grand Prix. So Bennett's currently on a bit of a hot spot here, and we'll be looking to try and finish the season in the best possible way. Joined halfway through the season and is a regular podium finisher throughout this season. He just cuts the inside of that corner there, so I think he's trying to get track position. Maybe he doesn't want to get held up on his flying lap, but no, he's coming into the pits, that's why. So Bennett into the pits he comes. But Joram Jaffa Cake, what a qualifying session from Jaffa Cake here. Look at that, he's only half a second off at the pole time, so that's brilliant driving from Jaffa Cake so far in this session, and it's great to see him up there or thereabouts, provisionally on the front row as it stands, but whether or not he'll stay there at the end of the session we'll have to see. 4 minutes left to go in this session. We've got Magfire and Aldrich Avist in 3rd and 4th places. Aldrich Avist making his return after a couple of races away. Magfire always goes well as a reserve here at Motive. Has raced in the last few rounds here at Motive. That should be good to get him in the regular drivers roster, as he's always very quick and clean, and great to have on the channel. Got a Little Greavy racing as reserve tonight. Sporadic reserve so far this season. He's been here sometimes he's not, but whenever he is, he's usually up there near the front. One thing that I'm a bit confused about right now is that I thought the Grieve was Little Greavy. Turns out the Grieve is somebody else. So the Grieve's crashed out of the session, and I think he must have left the session as well, and that's why we've got RDJ and Falguest both waiting in the lobby. They didn't get in time to do a qualifying lap to actually get into the qualifying session itself, but they will be able to start from the back in the race. But we've got Little Greavy at the moment, not too far off for the top time. Tree Monkey Page out there tonight, his debut at Motive. Regular racer in the XL Leagues, both on a Monday and a Wednesday night for the Realistic and the OG Leagues. And first time I've seen him on the Friday night here at Motive. Has raced on the Motive Racing channel though on many an occasion. And he's currently sat in 6th place. The Mutts Nuts on his outlap at the moment. He's currently sat in 7th for the time being. Rednass, your man, in 8th place, followed by Enmorph in 9th. Mr. Basil in P10. Derby Bay currently sat 11th in this session. What can he do? He's currently 2 tenths down on his personal best at the moment, where he is at this point. You got Shug's Life there in P12. Araki currently sat in P13 on that leaderboard. Got Clarky Boy in 14th at the moment in the Ferrari. There's Horatio in the pits. He's sat in 15th place. Matty Pitt, a late stand in reserve tonight, running in 16th at the moment. He's 2 tenths up on his previous best on that lap, but still not able to move himself up the order. Bennett LCFC still yet to do a lap on the soft tyres. He's cutting it fine here. As I just noticed in there, Little Greavy's gone up to second on the leaderboard there. Nice step from Little Greavy, getting himself provisionally on the front row ahead of Jaffa Cake. Only 3/10 off of Joam's fastest time in this session so far. DJ Phil making his return tonight, good to see. He's it looks like he's going to try and start on the medium tyres here. Oh, Matty Pitts just crashed out of the session. Didn't see where, how or why, but he is done for this session, and he will have to start from wherever he qualified, so P16 at best. DJ Phil starting his final flying lap of the session. Let's see where he can put himself on those medium tyres. He'll have that strategic ace up his sleeve in the beginning of the race, which always bodes well for him. But Joam still the man on top of the leaderboard at the moment. He's pretty close to getting into the 1:14s, only 0.08 of a second off of a potential 1:14. So Joam is really blazing a trail out there at the moment in the Red Bull, the champion-elect of Motive's F1 League. He's already won the championship this season, but he's not letting up in any way, shape or form. He's still going for win after win after win. I think if he wins tonight, it'd be something like 7 wins on the bounce for Joam. So yeah, it's pretty sensational, really. Just how quick this kid is. He's the son and teammate of Raki, who's DNF from this qualifying session, but Raki always goes better in the races than he does in the qualifying sessions. Raki also a sporadic reserve on ACC here at Motive as well, has raced in our Porsche Supercup and our GT3s, and always supports us on the streams as well. Always comments, always says hello, and gets involved in the comment sections. But Joam has got a bit of traffic as he's coming in towards the final part of the lap, so that will definitely be causing a little bit of frustration for him as he comes out onto the start finish straight now. He'll get a tow, but he'll definitely get held up there. I've just noticed on the timing screen there, the Mutsnuts has gone P3. So Mutsnuts here absolutely flying at the moment in his session. Really impressive stuff here from the Mutsnuts. On his F1 debut, he's only 0.4 of a second off the fastest time as Magfire goes up into second place there, puts himself on the front row, pushes Little Greavy down a position. Morph there goes into third place, so the time's coming in thick and fast here at the end of this session, but the Mutsnuts has got a couple of corners left to go. He's half a second down though on his fastest time in this session, so I don't think he's going to improve. Out of the last corner he comes. This is it then for the session, and the Mutsnuts doesn't improve, but a great showing nonetheless here on his Formula 1 debut. True Monkey Page in 6th. So close. Look at that leaderboard. It's so tight. The top 9 separated by 0.8 of a second. It is very, very close here tonight here in Mexico City. But looks as though Joam is going to be taking pole here. Did he get over the line in time to do another lap? No, he didn't. So this is it for the session for Joam. Magfire's done, Morph, Little Greavy, the Mutsnuts, everybody's done in the session apart from Horatio and DJ Phil. Here comes Horatio. He's 0.2 up on his personal best, but he's a long way off for the pole time at the moment. Can he get himself ahead of Clarky Boy, maybe ahead of Raki as well? But he clouts that curve there coming through the stadium section. Here comes Horatio out of the last corner here for his final lap of the session here in Mexico. What can he do as he comes across the line? He pushes Clarky Boy down a position there. Almost got ahead of Raki, but just misses out on P13 there. DJ Phil across the line, and he's done a time good enough for 18th spot. He'll be starting on the medium tyres though, so he's got a decent opportunity at the beginning of this race. But it's going to be Joam starting on pole position for round 17 of the Formula 1 season on the Codemasters Formula 1 game here at Motive as he comes into the pits here at the end of the session. Joam looking to make it 7 wins on the bounce here in the Formula 1 League. Who can stop him? Can Magfire stake a claim? What about Morph, Little Greavy? Maybe the Mutsnuts on his debut could be here to spring an upset to these seasoned veterans on Formula 1 game here at Motive. Who knows what's going to happen? We've got a few comments rolling in here on the stream right now. We got SBS Bobby says, so Joam is using this as a trial race for our league. All I can say is, well, I assume that what's happened is that in order to get into your league, they've got to make a reference, or they've got to show you an example of their driving and what they're like on the track. And yeah, I think you guys, depending on the caliber of driving in your league, I think you guys might be in trouble, because Joam's one of the quickest guys that I've seen on the F1 game. He's pretty much unbeatable over the course of the last few races. He's looking to make it 7 wins on the bounce tonight, so he's looking like he's in the box seat to do that. Barry Appleton, Mr. Basil says, hi Andy, hello mate, welcome along. Raki says, evening all, even after all these races, this game and me are not friends. You've taken a step back, Raki, to be honest. You started off really well on this game. When at the start of the season you were up there, you were fighting at the front for the first few races, but hey, all it takes is one good result, one podium finish, and your confidence is going to be sky high. So don't let that knock you down. You're still a very, very competent driver, mate. Don't let that get you down. But we got Mr. Basil saying, Mr. Basil for the win. Funny that. I think you are Mr. Basil. Raki says, it's hard to accept that I am 2 seconds off the pace. Joam deserves a better teammate. Bobby says he's so good. Yeah, he really is. Joam's got to be the favourite for tonight. Already wrapped up the championship a couple of rounds ago at Suzuka. He's just doing this for fun. He's trying to wrap up the Constructors' Championship along with his teammate and father, Raki. It's a father and son partnership. Raki being the dad, Joam being the son. These two have absolutely shown everybody how it's done this season, but especially Joam. And as I say, they could be wrapping up the Constructors' title. I think tonight they could do it. I will have to. I keep endeavouring to check the Constructors' Championship standings, and you know what? I just keep forgetting to do it, but we will get that done ASAP. So it could be that the father and son in the Red Bull do end up taking the Constructors. But we're 10 seconds away from the start of the formation lap, guys. If you like what you see here on the Motive Racing channel, please be sure to drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to get involved, go to www.motiveracing.com. Click in the top right hand corner, you've got the Discord server there. You can get yourselves involved in the action. If you're a racer on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, then you're more than welcome to come along and give it a go. Unfortunately, we don't race on the PC at the moment, so it's only here on PlayStation. But PlayStation's cheaper, it's easier. What's not to like about it at the end of the day? As we've got 20 cars on the grid here, it looks as though RDJ hasn't got in. So I don't know what's happened here. I don't know if maybe RDJ's taken one for the team and let Falguest have a crack at it, as Falguest didn't get to race last week. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's the case. But we've got Falguest all on at the back of the field. Obviously, we'll be making his Motive Racing F1 debut here tonight, which will be very exciting to see how he gets on. Regular racer on Project Cars 2. Former runner-up in the GTEs on Project Cars 2. He's also the championship leader in the touring cars, which is coming up after this. Actually, we run the touring cars on a Friday night straight after the F1 League, and he's leading the championship there. Has an outside chance at being able to wrap it up tonight, as this is the penultimate round of the season coming up tonight. So he could, if he outscores Grandad Steve by a substantial amount, could wrap up the touring car championship before next week. But it's a very, very long shot. As I say, it's extremely unlikely, because Grandad Steve's a very consistent performer in the touring cars. But Falguest is just leaving a bit of a berth between himself and the Grieve up ahead. So I'm not sure what's going on here, as we got RDJ just giving us a ring on Discord. So let's just see what RDJ wants. Rob, hello. Oh, okay, he's hung up. Alright, I don't know what's going on there with RDJ. The game's not letting him ready up. Unfortunately, we have to crack on. Because we've got 20 cars on the grid. I think maybe there were too many people in the lobby, so he may have missed out for that reason. So I'm sorry, Rob, if you're watching. I'm sorry. I think maybe you might have jumped in a bit too late or something. I don't know what's happened, so I'm really sorry about that. But we're right up on the grid here at the end of the formation lap. We've got Joam starting this one on pole position. Magfire in second place alongside him on the front row. You got Enmorph and Little Greavy, the Muttnuts, Tree Monkey Page pretty close behind. The Muttnuts on his debut in the F1 League tonight will be looking to really impress there from the third row. Can he get a good start? Can he take it to these experienced drivers on the Codemasters Formula 1 game? 20 cars on the grid here in Mexico City for round 17 of Motive Racing's Formula 1 League on the PlayStation 4 and 5. Here we go. What is going to happen? Is Joam going to make it 7 wins in a row, or can Magfire take the fight to him? Can any of the other guys behind them get involved in this action and stake their claim for a race win? As we're just syncing up now, Mr. Basil seems to be the last driver to sync up. So here we go, we're about to go racing here. The lights are about to come on here for the 17th round of the season, and it's lights out and away we go. And it is a decent start there from Joam. Gets away pretty nicely. Little Greavy's made an absolute flyer, and he's already looking to the inside of Magfire, as it's a very long run down towards turn 1. Slipstream is going to be key. You don't really want to be out in front, but Joam looks like he's held onto the lead coming up towards the first corner. Little Greavy's looking back up the inside of Magfire. Trunky Page has got ahead of the Muttnuts up into 5th place, but the Muttnuts is just getting ahead of him here, coming through turns 2 and 3, and has managed to hold on to that P5. Trunky Page is now losing out a few positions down to 8th place, as we see Little Greavy just behind Magfire there in 2nd and 3rd places. Enmorph, the Muttnuts are top 5. Aldrich, Abyss, there with Jaffa Cake, Tree Monkey Page, Clarky Boy up into 9th place. Great first lap from Clarky Boy, as we see Red Nass there making a move on Mr. Basil up into P10. Matty Pitts got himself into 12th place. What's happening elsewhere? Falguest has made up 5 places up into 15th place there. Bennett LCSC's dropped back a bit. DJ Phil's made up a couple of positions. Shug's Life and Horatio not having the best of opening laps here, as Bennett started on the hard tyres. That's going to be an interesting one as we get towards the later parts of the race. But it's Joe I'm leading at the moment. He's already gapped Magfire by about a second here on this opening lap. Little Gravy pressure in the back of Magfire. We've got M-Morph there, Aldrich Avis, the Nuts running in 6th place with Tree Monkey Page, Clarky Boy, Red Nass. We've got Jaffa Cake there, Matty Pitt, the Grieve. Falguest up into 13th place. He's had a very strong opening lap here as Falguest. Derby Bay there running in 14th place. Bennett on the hard tyres in P15. You got DJ Phil being passed there by Shug's Life coming through the stadium section. And DJ Phil's just spun it there on the exit of the stadium section, and he's down to 19th place here in this race. Rakido's had an absolute nightmare of an opening lap. You've got the Red Bull teammates first and last here on this first lap, but Joe Am leads coming into turn 1. Magpie second, Little Gravy, M-Morph. There's Aldrich Avis. We see the Nuts is now facing heavy pressure from Tree Monkey Page. He's down the inside up into 6th place. There's Clarky Boy in 8th with Red Nass. There's Jaffa Cake, Matty Pitt, the Grieve, Falguest running just behind these guys. But so much going on here right now. Don't know where to look as Tree Monkey Page now loses out to Clarky Boy. Clarky Boy into P7 in this race. So the Tree Monkey Page is going to get him back in towards this next left-hander. No, Clarky Boy's going to hold it around the outside and manages to complete the move brilliantly there. Lovely driving from Clarky Boy. But honestly, don't know where to look at the moment. There's so much going on here in this race. But Joe, I'm leading him by 7/10 of a second right now. Little Greavy's got heavy pressure from M-Morph, trying to get himself up into that P3. Just seeing there, Chug's Life's dropped a couple of positions. Mr. Basil and Horatio up into 16th and 17th places. DJ Phil's lost out to Raki, so Raki's up into 19th place here in this race. I'm having to be sleight of hand here on these controls to flick to the right drivers here, but this is insane. Right now we've got the Nuts dropping off for the lead pack ever so slightly. He's gapped Clarky Boy a little bit. Tree Monkey Page on the back of Clarky Boy here. This is a 5-car train here battling over 7th place, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th places. Clarky Boy, Tree Monkey Page, Red Nass, Jaffa Cake and Matty Pitt. They've gapped the Grieve and Falguest a little bit. Falguest is on the back of the Grieve, as we can see, and he's coming over the line to complete the second lap of the race. No DRS this time. It will be available the next time around. In fact, it will be available on the stretch from between turns 3 and 4. But we've got M-Morph on the back of Little Gravy, Aldrich Avist a second behind these guys, as we see Clarky Boy's got heavy pressure now. Tree Monkey Page will have DRS on Clarky Boy. This will be a bit of a DRS train forming behind these guys. Tree Monkey Page is going to have a look, but a little bit too far back coming into that corner. Red Nass unable to make anything happen. Jaffa Cake dropped off a little bit off of those guys over the course of the first sector there. Matty Pitt's fallen off of the back of these guys, as Falguest is still on the back of the Grieve, but still can't find a way through up into 12th place at this point. You've got Bennett LCFC on the back of Derby Bay. These two batting out of the 14th place. Bennett, as we said on the hard tyres, can go long into this first stint. Derby Bay's picked up a 5-second penalty. Jaffa Cake a 3-second penalty. So much going on here in terms of the penalties. Race controls pinging us left, right and centre at the moment. It's like a load of people's COVID-19 app when they've been in a crowded place, isn't it? We're just getting pinged left, right and centre. Here we go. You can have a ping, you can have a ping, you can have a ping. But right now we've got Little Gravy in 3rd place. He's holding on to that final podium spot at the moment. M-Morph there just behind him. Aldrich Avist in 5th place is currently just under a second behind M-Morph. These guys 3.5 seconds clear of this pack. And the Nuts has fallen back into the clutches of Clarky Boy and Tree Monkey Page a bit. But Tree Monkey Page is crucially has now got a run here on Clarky Boy. And I think he's going to get this one done down the inside in towards turn 1. Yes, he does. Tree Monkey Page is up into P7 there on the brakes. Nicely done there. Clarky Boy though still waiting in the wings, still poised to come back at him. But good battle here between these guys, as now Tree Monkey Page can focus his attention on the Nuts. M-Morph has lost a couple positions here. He's down to P5, although he's back down the inside of both of them here. Look at this, wow. M-Morph, Little Gravy and Aldrich Avist having a great little scrap here, and M-Morph back down the inside of Little Gravy. Aldrich Avist though up into the final podium spot there. Oh, look at this. Little Gravy's looking down the inside, trying to get that move back on M-Morph as he cuts the inside of the grass a little bit there. Didn't know that the McLaren is a lawnmower, but it makes quite a good lawnmower to be fair. M-Morph still holding on to that 4th place, but Joe, I'm leading the race by almost 2 seconds ahead of Magfire. He's gapped Aldrich Avist, and Aldrich Avist has got M-Morph and Little Gravy in hot pursuit here. These guys continuing to pull away from the Mustangs. Oh my god, three wide in the background as Tree Monkey Page is down the inside of Clarky Boy. Red Nass getting pushed out a little bit there. Jaffa Cake getting baited there as the Mustangs is managed to hold on ahead of these guys, but Tree Monkey Page is squeezing ahead of Clarky Boy in towards the penultimate corner of the lap and has got that P7 done once again. These two trading places left, right and centre here, but now Clarky Boy will have DRS, but look at this, Red Nass has got to run on Clarky Boy. He's going to pull out that slipstream down the start-finish straight they come. And Red Nass is going to get a double overtake done here. Look at this. Breezes past Clarky Boy and Tree Monkey Page up into 7th place. Now Clarky Boy looking down the inside of Tree Monkey Page. And he's going to try and squeeze him out. Tree Monkey Page is still there. Clarky Boy's going to give him the space there. As Clarky Boy manages to pull that move off. Brilliantly done there from Clarky Boy. As now Tree Monkey Page is going to find himself open to an attack here from Jaffa Cake. Jaffa Cake looking to the outside here. No, looking to the inside even of Clarky Boy. I tell you what, Clarky Boy there was brave with those two behind him to take that corner as naturally as he did. Matty Pitt there up into P10, had a Jaffa Cake. Jaffa Cake losing out. Falgas has got ahead of the Grieve here. Missed that one, but he's now up into 12th place in this race. Falgas continues to make gains after starting at the back of the grid here for this one. Enmorph on the back of Aldrich Avist on the back of Enmorph at the moment. These two batting out over the final podium spot. Little Greavy's still pretty close behind. And Jaffa Cake's out of the race. What's happened there? Jaffa Cake's DNF'd. Is it going to be a safety car? I don't think it is. Looks like the marshals are going to recover that under. No, it's not. It is a safety car. We've got a safety car here at the end of lap 5. So these drivers at the front now coming into the pits, pulling the trigger, making the most of their opportunity to get what is essentially a free pit stop, near enough. As we see here, we got Joam, I think, had gone past the pits before the safety car was deployed, so he misses out on that opportunity. The Mustangs there in 2nd place gets himself some good track position here in this one. Red Nass has also opted to stay out, as is Clarky Boy, but Magfire, Enmorph in the pits, as are Aldrich Avis, Little Greavy, Tree Monkey Page, Matty Pitt, Mr. Basil staying out, as is Shug's Life. Oh no, Miss Basil's in, sorry. Mr. Basil, Shug's Life, Raki all in the pits. What about DJ Phil? Does DJ Phil come into the pits? No, I think he's staying out for the time being. But safety car here on lap 6 of 36 here for the Mexico City Grand Prix here at Motive. What an opening few laps it has been. It's been breathtaking, quite literally here. But stay tuned for the rest of the race, guys, because if this first couple of laps is anything to go by, this is going to be an absolute thriller, and the pack's going to be Constantining it up once again here for this restart. So yeah, hang on to your seats. This is going to be a good one. Here we go then, guys. Official confirmation that the safety car will be in this lap. So Joam just backing the pack up, getting ready to go once again. Joam's put the soft tyres on, so he's obviously got to come in and presumably put a set of mediums on to the end of the race in about 8 or 9 laps time, I would imagine. Maybe, who knows, he might be able to stretch it out to about lap 19, maybe put, yeah, I don't know, maybe lap 19 or 20. Could possibly then put the mediums on from there, who knows. But here we are then. Magpie has the medium tyres on. Let's see how far he can go into this stint. Enmorph has done the same as Joam, put the softs on. The Grieve hasn't changed tyres. He's gone for track position there. Falgas has done the same, opting for track position, trying to get himself a little bit further up the order, maybe hoping that there's another safety car in a couple of laps time. But we're racing once again here in Mexico City. Joam leads us up towards turn 1 as we see there. Derby Bay's made the move on Horatio up into 8th place, down the inside up towards turn 1. Clarky Boy's made the move there on Chugs Life and Matty Pitt, so he's made an absolute flying start. Oh, bit aggressive there on the inside, getting his elbows out, squeezing through the gap. I tell you what, there was a gap there and he went for it. As the Mutts Nuts has got himself up into P10 here on this restart. Matty Pitt's got back ahead of Chugs Life up into 17th place as we see Bennett LCSC's made the move on a Falguest and the Grieve. They're getting ahead up into 5th place. So Falguest losing a couple of positions there, but he's looking back up at the inside of the Grieve here, looking to try and get that back done. But Aldrich Affis all on the back of Falguest here, so this is a big battle going on here up the prominent end of the grid. But you got Little Grievey there getting ahead of Derby Bay up into 10th place. Aldrich Affis has got ahead of Falguest up into 6th. Falguest going backwards here on this restart. He'll be looking to try and get that together again. He's got some worn out soft tyres there, which may be hampering him a little bit. Yeah, he's losing out to the Mutts Nuts and Little Grievey there, and Derby Bay now looking down the inside here. He can't get it done though, tucks it in. No, he does actually, he does make it move, does make it stick, sorry. And Falguest dropping backwards here on this restart. It's gone pretty much the worst that you could ever imagine it to for him. But Joam leads the race by 1.3 seconds over Enmorph at the end of lap 10 here. Aldrich Avist has got ahead of Bennett LCFC up into 4th place. Bennett on the hards, Aldrich Avist on the softs. So that's not too surprising, to be honest. But Bennett's going to try and come back at him here. No DRS, obviously, as we're only on the first lap of the restart. And Aldrich Avist does complete that move up into 4th place. And the Mutts Nuts is around the outside of Horatio and looking to try and get ahead of the Grieve as well, but the Grieve's going to hold that inside line and keeps himself ahead for the time being. As the Grieve, a Little Grievey gets ahead of Horatio, and Tree Monkey Page follows him through, so Horatio losing a couple of positions there in the space of a couple of 100 metres. Shug's Life just noticing there has got ahead of Raki, and Matty Pitt's just made the move there on DJ Phil up into 16th place. Nice move there from Matty Pitt. Clarky Boy's making the move here on Rednas up into 12th. Nice move there from Clarky Boy. Very good move there up the inside. Mr. Basil's just done Falguest, so Falguest there has had a nightmare of a restart. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's just got himself into a bit of a rut. I think maybe those soft tyres starting to fill the pace a little bit. 11 laps around a track like this on soft tyres is not going to end well. But Tree Monkey Page up into 8th place. Getting ahead of Little Grievey there, so Little Grievey losing out to Tree Monkey Page. Joram does the fastest lap of the race here on lap 10. That's probably the first lap that he's really done in anger on those soft tyres since he put them on at the beginning of the safety car window. Aldrich Affis though goes quicker. He's currently closing up onto the back of Magpie a little bit. No DRS just yet. They'll get DRS coming out of turn 3. They'll get DRS down that straight towards the left-right chicane. So let's keep an eye out, see if Aldrich Avis does keep himself in that window. Oh, ever so wide there. Track limits. But he will get the rear wing wide open, I think, down here, will he? Oh, no, he doesn't. How strange. Well, that's a bit of a head scratcher. The Grieve makes the move here on the Mutts Nuts. Oh no, the Little Grieve's round though. As he was making that move ahead of the Mutts Nuts, he spins it out and he's down to 13th place there. So the Grieve having a major moment. Clarky Boy's just got ahead of Derby Bay. So Clarky Boy, since this restart, has gone from 17th place up into 10th. He's pulling off really strong moves here in this race. What a job from Clarky Boy. He's absolutely putting off a stormer of a drive here so far. Tree Monkey Page has got ahead of the Mutts Nuts, and so has Little Grievey. The Mutts Nuts has dropped behind Horatio here, and that's why he's got no front wing. Clarky Boy up into 9th place there ahead of the Mutts Nuts. The Mutts Nuts there is now limping round. He's going to need to get that into the pits ASAP and get that fixed. We see Redknapp there just tagging the back of the Muttnuts a little bit. He's now got Derby Bay really pressuring him, but the Muttnuts there stay to the head of these guys. He'll need to come into the pits here and get that front wing changed. As in he comes, he follows Horatio in. Horatio also coming into the pits here at the end of lap 12. Schumacher Page just go ahead of Bennett LCFC up into 5th place. These two big rivals in the XL F1 League on a Wednesday and a Monday night currently going at it here, and Bennett loses out to Little Greavy there, so Little Greavy's up into 6th place. Double wave goes through sector 3. Not sure why. Derby Bay's just made the move there on Redknapp up into 9th. Mr. Basil down the inside of the Grieve. Here we're coming through turns 1 and 2. Can he hold on here? Oh, the Grieve just about clinging onto that position around the outside of turn 3 there. But Mr. Basil really taking it to him at this stage in the race. Joram has already opened up a 2-second gap since the restart. This man once again showing that he is the force to be reckoned with in this Formula 1 League at Motive. As we see, Falguest has got ahead of the Muttnuts due to the Muttnuts coming into the pits. And Falguest also came into the pits. Falguest has now put a new set of soft tyres on. So obviously he was really struggling on those worn out softs on the restart. He's got a fresh set on, so we'll be able to see what he can do now. We've got Little Greavy here within 0.6 of a second of Tree Monkey Page. These two having a good little battle for 5th place. Shug's Life has got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. It's very hard to get a corner cutting penalty when you've got regular corner cutting stringency. So these guys must be really taking advantage of these corner cuts. But Little Greavy's still pretty close on the back of Tree Monkey Page. Redknapp still has in the back of Derby Bay. We'll get DRS here down the start finish straight. I think Redknapp is going to get Derby Bay here coming down towards turn 1. Derby Bay on much older tyres. Redknapp is going to be feeling the freshness of those mediums as he's down the inside there. Ring wheel wide open, and Redknapp gets himself up into 9th place there. Beautifully done there on the brakes. Shoots the corner perfectly there. Doesn't overstep it or anything. You got the Muttnuts is now ahead of Shug's Life, and Shug's Life has lost out to Falguest. So Shug's Life there's dropped back a little bit. Dropped back 2 positions in that final sector there. Don't know if he made a mistake or what. Oh, he's lost his front wing. That'll be why he's in the pits then. So Shug's Life's coming in and getting that repaired ASAP. Not necessarily the end of his race though. There could be safety cars. There could be more dramas, thrills and spills to come over the course of this one. Little Greavy's still pretty close on the back of Tree Monkey Page at the moment. Derby Bay's still pretty close. Oh my goodness, we don't want to do that. Sorry. We've got Derby Bay still close on the back of Redknapp here. These two battling out over 9th and 10th places. Matty Pitt very close to Mr. Basil at the moment. These two both on the hard tyres. I don't think they can go to the end, but I tell you what, it could be worth a shot. But they'll have to do 28 laps all told on these hard tyres. You know, if they were to make it all the way to the end, it might be a bit of a stretch for them. But right now, Mr. Basil's still just ahead of Matty Pitt. Is Matty Pitt going to be able to try and get the DRS down the start-finish straight and maybe get an overtake done here? Here they come then, over the line to complete their 14th laps of the race. Oh, it's going to be close here, you know. Matty Pitt might have a chance. Oh no, because the thing is, Mr. Basil had DRS himself, because he had DRS on the Grieve as the Grieve came into the pits, so Mr. Basil able to use that to defend very, very nicely. Little Greavy there up into 5th place ahead of Tree Monkey Page. These two still trading places, but Little Greavy gets himself into P5 for the time being. Can Tree Monkey Page come back at him? Looks like he's going to have to tuck in for the time being as they're coming up to the stadium section of the track. Bennett LCFC is running in 7th place. Himself and Clarky Boy have had many great battles throughout the course of this season. Clarky Boy looking to make hay while the sun's shining down on him, because he knows that those soft tyres are on borrowed time and they're not going to last forever, so he needs to make the most of them whilst they're in their optimum window. He's done 6 laps on them so far, so they will start to feel the pace in a couple of laps time. And I wonder if the Clarky Boy is going to try and put the mediums on from here, or is he going to play it safe and put a set of hards on, try and go to the end? All these questions and more will be answered over the course of the next 20 laps of this race. We've still got Morph behind Aldrich Alfist here. These two battling it out over 2nd place. Joram's opened up a 5-second gap to these two, but they're battling out over the remaining podium positions. Little Greavy has got really close to him into turn 1, but Tree Monkey Page can't get it done there. Mr. Basil and Matty Pitt have both done Derby Bay, as Derby Bay's into the pits, that's why. Falguest on the back of the Grieve as we see there. Horatio up into 12th place due to Derby Bay being in the pits, and Matty Pitt's made the move on Mr. Basil into turn 1. The two Williams is having a great little scrap here, and Matty Pitt down the inside gets the position done there. Falgas pretty close on the back of the Grieve. What's going to happen here is these two come down and start finish straight. Falgas is going to get a very nice run here down towards turn 1. He's going to pull out of the slipstream here, looks to the inside, into the brakes. He can into the braking zone they come, and Falgas gets that done. Routine stuff there. No, not quite, not quite. Wow, great driving there from the Grieve. Really got his elbows out there and squeezed back ahead of Falgas. Oh my goodness me, I did not expect that. I thought Falgas was going to have that move done. DRS once again for Falgas down towards the chicane, but the Grieve has got the measure of him this time around. Wow, I wasn't expecting him to come back at him there, but great driving there from the Grieve. Enmorph is into the pits, fresh set of tyres going on that car, medium tyres. He's not going to be able to go to the end on those, at least not comfortably, unless we get another couple of safety cars. So he's doing that because he has to use 2 tyre compounds. That's the only reason why he's doing that. Could have put the hards on and gone to the end, but he's probably banking on there being at least one more safety car in this race, and based on previous form, I wouldn't say that's too unlikely. Clarky Boy still has in the back of Bennett. Thing is with Clarky Boy right now, the longer that he spends behind Bennett, the more this is going to be hurting his race, because Bennett on those hard tyres, Clarky Boy, as we said before, needs to really milk these soft tyres, as they don't last too long. They're not as durable as the mediums or the hards, but they're much faster, so you want to use them whilst they're in their optimum window. But right now these two battling it out. Bennett's still holding Clarky Boy at bay for the time being. Joram's lead has been cut a little bit here. Magfire's made a mistake. Magfire's dropped well off at the back of Aldrich Advist, so I didn't see what happened to Magfire, but Aldrich Advist has now got 10 seconds back to him. And Aldrich Advist, bit of a dark horse in this one. He's got himself into second place here in this race, and he's starting to reel in Joram a little bit now. These two have both done a long stint on these soft tyres that they're on. Now we've got to factor in that they did 3 laps on the under the safety car, so realistically they've done about 7 or 8 racing laps on these soft tyres, so they're probably going to be going off around now. They're going to start to feel the durability right now, but I don't know, Aldrich Advist seems to be outpacing Joram a little bit at the moment, as we can see there. Clarky Boy into the pits. He's going to change those soft tyres. Now is he going to put the mediums or the hards on? That's the question. The hards will comfortably get you to the end from here, and he does put the hards on, so he's playing it safe. He clearly doesn't think we're going to have another safety car in this race, and who knows, if we don't have another safety car, that could prove to be an inspired choice there from Clarky Boy, as out of the pits and off and away he goes once again. Clarky Boy's best finished here at Motive was a P6 at Spa. I keep saying that every single week, I always mention that, but he could be on for a personal best finish here tonight, as he seems pretty strong here at Mexico, and he's been really in the thick of it over the course of tonight. We see here Tree Monkey. Oh, the Muttnuts is out of the race. The Muttnuts has crashed, and are we going to have another safety car here? Double waved yellows through sector 3. See if we can get some eyes on where exactly the crash site is. I think Shug's Life might have gone past it, so we're not going to get too much of an idea as to where the Muttnuts is parked. Oh no, it's there on the exit of the final corner. Oh no, he's right in the firing line. There is the Muttnuts. It looks like the marshals have managed to use their magical powers there and have got the car recovered without even needing the safety car, or not even with the benefit of a VSC. Absolute miraculous lot, these Mexican marshals, as we can see here. Bennett and M-Morph moving up into 5th and 6th, 4th and 5th even. There's a little Greavy and Truman Page into the pits. Now M-Morph is looking down the inside here of Bennett up towards turn 1. Can M-Morph complete this move here, or is Bennett going to come back at him? No, M-Morph does tuck into 4th place there. Mr. Basil up into 8th place with Little Greavy and Tree Monkey Page into the pits. Matty Pitts gap Mr. Basil by about a second now, so he's got breathing space there back to his Williams teammate for this week. Little Greavy and Tree Monkey Page come out 4 seconds out of Clarky Boy. These two battling over 4th and 5th before, so Clarky Boy not too far off of a pretty strong finish here in this race. And one thing that I'm pretty confident, oh, DJ Phil's out of the race, we've got a safety car here, safety car on lap 19. That's just kind of blown the strategy completely out of the water for some of these drivers. We're down to 17 here. We started off with 20, we're now down to 17 as DJ Phil has crashed out somewhere, not sure where. We've got a second safety car of the evening, as Falgas has picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. But this has kind of just thrown the strategy completely. It's negated the strategy, but for those guys who came into the pits already, they might be able to get the jump on a few of the drivers up ahead of them here. So this could benefit drivers like Little Greavy, Tree Monkey Page and Clarky Boy a little bit, but it's not really going to make a whole load of difference. Joram's already been in the pits and has already emerged. still in the lead. Aldrich Avist comes out and retains second place. Magfire loses out on third. Enwolf is now into third place. Magfire is going to come out. I think he should retain fourth place here as he gets off of the limiter now. Yet Magfire does come out in fourth. Rednass is coming into the box. He won't be fifth by the time he gets to the end of the pit lane. Bennett comes out just ahead of Tree Monkey. No, Matty Pitt. But Matty Pitt's into the box, so obviously he hadn't been into the box at that point. Matty Pitt and Mr. Basil double stacking there. The Williams pit crew there had to hold Mr. Basil for a second there. As we see, Falga's already put the hard tyres on, but he's a long way off of the pack. But Crucially now will be on the back of the pack for the what is essentially the second half of this race. Shug's Life and Rucky still go ahead 16th and 17th places, will be able to bring themselves onto the back of the lead pack here. But Joram leading under the safety car here, lap 20 of 36 for Motive Racing's F1 League here on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 set. Round 17 of the season. We're coming towards the back end of the season now, but things are really heating up in terms of the actual racing out on track. It's been really exciting to watch. 20 cars started this race. We've still got 17 in the running. Don't go anywhere, guys. This is going to be an absolute thriller of a finish, with Aldrich Avist showing that he's clearly got the pace to really fight Joram in this one. So being on the back of him and then both being on medium tyres, this is going to be very exciting to watch, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. About to go once again for the Mexican Grand Prix. Looks like we're underway here. Joan puts his foot to the floor. 14 laps left to go here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and 5. Bennett's already got a Schumacher page up into 7th place. Bennett once again showing his electric form on the restarts here, but they're going to be out dragging each other all the way down to the to turn 1. Can Schumacher page get it back around the outside here of Bennett? Looks like he's got a lower downforce setup here and manages to get it into turn 1 there. So Schumacher page holds on to P7. The Grieve has got ahead of Redknapp up into P10. As we see there, the Grieve though and Redknapp still side by side. Yep, he does complete that move there. He goes a little bit wide on the exit, but completes that position. And we've got Bennett back up the inside here, back around the outside, sorry, of Schumacher page down towards the chicane. So he gets himself back up into P7 as Mr. Basil's in the pits. Don't know why. Joram though leads ahead of Aldrich Avvist. These two pretty evenly matched. This could be an exciting matchup for the win here tonight. Could Aldrich Avvist be the thorn in the side of Joram and stop him from taking his 7th win in a row here? As Bennett's got ahead of Clarky Boy up into P6. Bennett LCFC on fresh soft tyres has really got to go hell for leather in these next few laps. Clearly Bennett banking on another safety car here in this race, because those soft tyres are not going to go 14 laps. There's no chance, not a chance in hell that they're going to go 14 laps. So he needs another safety car here in this race. He's currently making gains here in this race as we see the lapped car there, a Red Bull Raki there just ghosting in front of him. But Joram and Aldrich Avvist half a second between him as they come over the line to complete the 23rd lap of the race. No DRS just yet. That will be enabled in a lap and a half's time. Not even this time. Next lap will we be seeing DRS. But Aldrich Avvist, as it stands, will be close enough once it's enabled to get that rear wing advantage. Morph there in 3rd, Magfire 4th. There's Little Greavy in 5th place with Bennett LCFC. There's Clarky Boy just behind him. Tree Monkey Page, Matty Pitt, the Grieve, Redknapp there behind. Then Derby Bay Shugs Life, Horatio in 14th place. Falguest coming out of the pits now, down in P15. Not been the race for Falguest at all. Mr. Basil there in 16th, just coming out of the last corner with Raki there in 17th place. Then Mutsnuts has left the session and unfortunately will take no further part in tonight, but we'll hopefully be seeing him for the touring cars on Project Cars 2 in around an hour's time. That'll be kicking off about 9 o'clock. We'll have a break of about an hour where we'll just get a few practice lobbies going, get the drivers who are racing touring cars tonight up for some racing, get a bit of practice in, maybe do a few setup tweaks for the drivers, opportunity for them to get their last setup changes in, and then the lobby for the touring cars will be up at about 9 o'clock. So the stream usually about 5-10 minutes after the lobby opens, we'll have that up and running. But hopefully we'll be seeing the Mutsnuts on the touring cars. He is a regular for that series, and I know he does enjoy them a lot, so fingers crossed we'll see him for that one. But Joram and Aldrich Avvist out of the last corner here, about to complete the 24th lap of the race, 2/3 of the way into the race, 12 laps left to go. These two seem very evenly matched at this point as they're coming in towards the DRS zone, but because they've only just started the 3rd lap, it's not enabled until the DRS zone coming through turn 24. But he doesn't even need it. Look at this, Aldrich Avvist down the inside of Joram. Joram does hold it around the outside there, just about. Preferred line through turn 1. Obviously he had a better radius and was able to carry more speed through the corner of being on the outside, but now Aldrich Avvist has the benefit of the rear wing. Here he comes down towards the chicane. Oh no, maybe he doesn't, you know. Tucks in behind. No DRS there. Very strange. I thought he would, but maybe that's not a DRS zone. I would have thought it would be, but Joram's still holding on here. Aldrich Avvist at the moment. Morph there in 3rd, Magfire 4th, followed by Little Greavy. Bennett LCFC really close onto the back of Little Greavy here. These two battling out over 5th place. Tree Monkey Page there in 6th with Clarky Boy. There's Matty Pitt, 0.4 of a second behind Clarky Boy. The Grieve there running in 10th place. Derby Bay, Redknapp, Shugs Life there. Bit of a gap back to Horatio. Falguest had a nightmare of a race. Mr. Basil likewise, and Raki's too. But Joram here currently holding on to the lead ahead of Aldrich Avvist as we're coming through the stadium section. Can Aldrich Avvist get himself close enough coming out of the last corner that he can have a crack coming down the start finish straight? He will have DRS as we said. Redknapp and Bay having a good little battle here for 11th places. Looks as though Bay's got himself ahead of Redknapp. Now Shugs Life's trying to get involved in this as well onto the back of Redknapp, but let's check out the two leaders as they're coming down the start finish straight. Aldrich Avvist a little bit too far behind to make anything happen here coming into turn 1. He'll have DRS but won't be able to get anything done coming up towards the corner. As we see there, the Grieve is into the pits. That's promoted Derby Bay, Redknapp and Shugs Life up in position, so too Horatio. But Joram currently still leading this race ahead of Aldrich Avvist. And this is some great racing here as now DRS will be open for Aldrich Avvist this time around. I think he's just a little bit too far back though. It's not really long enough of a DRS zone to be able to make it work. Magfire just behind Morph at the moment. Bennett's made the move on Little Greavy up into 5th place. So Bennett LCFC have another position here on his fresh soft tyres, but he will not be able to go to the end on these tyres, so he needs to absolutely fly here and hope and pray that there's another safety car before the end of this race. Otherwise his gamble will not pay off. So we've got double wave yellows through sector 2. Is that because of Derby Bay? I think it might be, you know. Derby Bay's got no front wing. Oh, what a shame there. Derby Bay's just lost out to Horatio. He's down to 13th place. He'll need to come into the pits at the end of this lap to get that front wing sorted out. What a shame there. As we've got a change for the lead. Aldrich Avis is up into the lead here. Ahead of Joam. He's made the move coming through the stadium section. And Aldrich Avis leads this race and could be about to end Joam's run of 6 race wins in a row. Incredible stuff here as Joam's got DRS coming down the start finish straight, looks to the outside, great race in between this pair as we see there the Red Bull breezes past Aldrich Avis, so the Red Bull breezes past the Aston Martin back up into the lead of the race. Magpie's making a move around the outside of Morph up into the final podium spot, so moves going on left, right and centre right now, lots of changes happening up front. Joam though survives that little scare there as Aldrich Avis made the move through the stadium section. Joam managed to return the favour straight back on him down the start finish straight, and these two putting on a great show here out the front. Magpie just running ahead of Morph here, 0.2 of a second between those two at the moment. You've got Bennett LCSC running a second behind them in 5th place. Little Greavy there in 6th. Tree Monkey Page a couple of seconds behind these guys as the Grievous made a move on Mr. Basil, but Mr. Basil's trying to come back at him. No, the Grievous completes that move into turn 1. Derby Bay and Falguest in the pits again. Oh no. Well, he's putting a fresh set of soft tyres on, might be going for the fastest lap. But he'll only get that extra point if he finishes in the top 10 as Clarky Boy has got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And Joam's got heavy pressure here from Aldrich Avis. This is the part of the track where all the track made the move last lap. And oh, Joam tried to come back in there. And Joam is round. Coming through the penultimate corner. Yellow flags through the penultimate corner. Oh no. The champion of the F1 League there went toe-to-toe with Aldrich Avis, tried to make the move straight back on him, got a little bit impatient there, I've got to say. That was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, maybe a rush of blood to the head there for Joam. And he's down to P7 as he's been unlapped by his teammate and father, Raki there. And Aldrich Avis all of a sudden now looks pretty comfortable out the front. He's got a 2.6 second lead here, and Aldrich Avis is going to be the party pooper here for Joam as Joam looked to make it 7 wins in a row. He's now down to P7 in this race, and unless we have a safety car, I can't see Joam winning this race now. As we see Little Greavy there's made the move on Bennett up into 4th place, and Bennett there really struggling across the grass there. I don't know if he made a mistake, but he's limping there a little bit. As we got Derby Bay there up into 14th ahead of the Grieve, and that's why, because the Grieve's in the pits. But wow, this is incredible stuff right now. Aldrich Avis leading this race and could be on for his first win here at Motive. Would be an absolutely brilliant performance from Aldrich Avis if he's able to pull this off. He's got a 3-second gap at the moment over Morph. So he's looking pretty comfortable. Joam's on the back of Tree Monkey Page here, looking to try and get himself into P6. Bennett LCFC's just in front of these guys at the moment. Unbelievable scenes here at Motive on a Friday night here in the Mexico City Grand Prix as we got rear wings wide open here. We've got Tree Monkey Page and Joam both looking to try and make the move here on Bennett, and Bennett a sitting duck here for these two as Tree Monkey Page trying to go around the outside and manages to get that move done. So that's the Alpine ahead of the Aston Martin, but Bennett's still there on the inside. No, Tree Monkey Page does slip around the outside, and here comes Joam. Here we go, DRS open for the Red Bull. Up towards turn 4 we come. And Joam is going to get around Bennett there. Bennett losing 2 positions in the space of a couple of corners. Can Joam complete that move, or is Bennett going to come back at him here? Joam just runs him out of road a little bit. Oh, Bennett's still there though. Oh, great race in here between these lads. As Bennett there holding it around the outside here. We'll have the inside for this next corner. Oh, so close here between these two. Joam still trying to hang in there. And Joam has the inside for this section of the track, and Joam has that done there, back up into P6. So Joam completes that move finally. Bennett's still there on the outside, and he goes around the outside. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Bennett LCSC now down the inside of Tree Monkey Pages. Tree Monkey makes a bit of a mistake there. Oh, Joam a bit of a bigger wiggle there as Matty Pitt slips up the inside up into P7. It's all going wrong for Joam in the final part of the race. Oh, he lost it again in the same part of the track that he lost it in a couple of laps ago, where he lost the lead here. Joam is down to P10 in this race. This race has gone from bad to worse for the champion of the F1 League here at Motive. Oh my goodness, you would not believe it. When you consider the run of form that Joam has had coming into tonight in this season, I suppose his run had to end at some point, but it's ended so dramatically here. with an absolute calamity of an end to this race, as we see Enmorph up into second place ahead of Magfire. Mr. Basil up into P12 with Joram in the pits. Joram emerges in P13 on some fresh soft rubber. I assume he's going to aim to finish in the top 10, but he's not going to finish in the top 10 because he's 20 seconds off of a top 10 spot. So Joram is going to have to go for fastest lap. He won't get the fastest lap point, but he can certainly get the pride of getting fastest lap. I'm sure he'd like to get the fastest lap. He's on the back of Mr. Basil at the moment, and is he going to be able to get this move done on Mr. Basil up towards the turn 4 and 5 chicane? Just tagging him in the back a little bit there, but Joram, it's gone from bad to worse here. He was in the battle with Aldrich Avvis. They had a bit of a collision as Joram tried to come back at him in towards the final corner. He maybe should have waited for the DRS zone, but just had a bit of a rush of blood to the head, I would imagine, and that's cost him the race win. It's cost him points here in this race. It's cost him a points paying position, as we see Matty Pitt into the pits here from P7. Where will he emerge? We'll have to wait and see. Magfire and Enmorph having a great battle here. Magfire's made the move back on Enmorph, back up into second place in this race. Noticing on a timing board here, Clarky Boy's on the back of Redness. He's only about a second off of Shug's Life in P7. So the race will start to come back to Clarky Boy at this point, as he's obviously on the hard tyres, so he will be suffering absolutely no tear off of those, as they can go 20 laps comfortably. But the Grieve's out of the race. I don't know what's happened to the Grieve there. He's crashed out of the race here on lap 30. Double waved yellow through sector 2. Looks like that's going to be all. What an unbelievable night we have had though here in Mexico City. It's been drama left, right and centre. We've got SLP, PD, STM says Joram pitted too late for the softs. Yeah, they started to go off a bit. I mean, he was having a battle with Aldrich Avvis though. But what a shame for Joram. I mean, he could have gone to the end on those mediums, I think, because he did a lot of those laps under the safety car. But I think he just spilled over a little bit. Aldrich Avvis and Joram very evenly matched. Aldrich Avvis clearly a match for Joram. I'd love to see Aldrich Avvis be able to start a season at Motive. I dearly hope he can sign up for next season, because seeing those two battling it out over the course of a season would be epic, I've got to say. I think Joram has more than met his match in terms of a rival in this F1 league, which is what we want to see at the end of the day. We want to see a battle for the championship. We don't want to be seeing what we saw this season, which is Joram wrapping up the title with 5 rounds to spare. But we see little Greavy there has got himself into 3rd place. Enmorph down to 4th. He's got Bennett and True Monkey Page in hot pursuit, but Bennett has done 11 laps on those soft tyres. They are going to be on a knife's edge at this point. He needs to come in and get those changed, I would feel. Otherwise they're going to just fall off the cliff. So he'll be well advised to get in and put another fresh set of softs on. He could probably finish in P6, I would imagine. If he does come in now, he'd have 4 laps of good running out of those softs. I don't know, maybe I don't know. I'd say if he comes in now, he'd be able to get 4 decent laps in and maybe get P6, but he's staying out. He's going to try and go all the way on those soft tyres. That would be a very, very big stretch indeed if Bennett is able to pull that off. It's making it work at the moment due to the laps under the safety car, but I think those soft tyres are going to hit the cliff very, very soon. See Shug's Life on the back of Redness at the moment. And he's made that move, but Redness is back up the inside of turn 2. Oh, Shug's Life squeezing through as Falgus is out of the race. Falgus has crashed out. We've got a safety car here with 4 laps left to go. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Unbelievable scenes. Safety car here on lap 33. That means that everybody gets a free pit stop. And I know from experience on the F1 game, whenever there's a late safety car, like let's say the last 5 laps or so, it tends to only last a lap. So I reckon we'll probably be going again at the end of lap 34. That's what I predict is going to happen here. So we'll have probably a 2-lap dash to the end, lap 35 and 36. It'll be a 2-lap dash to the end. Everybody's going to get a free pit stop here. So the whole field, I reckon, is going to be boxing for soft tyres. The front 2, Aldrich Avvis and Magfire, both in. And away They both go. Oh, Little Greavy didn't come in. Little Greavy is gambling. Oh my goodness. Little Greavy's taking a massive gamble here. He's staying out on the mediums. And what's Bennett doing? He's on 13 lap old soft, for crying out loud. Why is he not coming in? That's a very, very audacious move there from Bennett. Tree Monkey Page comes out in 4th, so he's opting to take a gamble here and get track position. But the thing is, you've got Aldrich Avist on fresh softs right behind him in 5th place. I reckon Aldrich Avist is going to pick these guys off with ease in these final 2 laps. That's what I reckon is going to happen here. Hopefully we go as soon as possible. I really do hope that we go at the end of this lap. Hopefully the safety car slows up a little bit and everybody can get up onto the back of the pack ASAP. And that we don't mess about too much here, because I'd love to see 2 laps of action. But the thing is, Aldrich Avist is going to have so much pace on the guys in front of him. I reckon he's going to clear these guys. If we have 2 laps of racing, he'll easily win this race. But if we have 1 lap, he might be hard pushed. But he's going to have so much pace over these guys. He's going to be about 2-3 seconds a lap quicker than them on this soft. Yep, race director safety car in this lap. I said it would be. Whenever it's a late safety car, they always try and get it cleared up as quickly as possible, so that it's up to the drivers now to get themselves on this train as quickly as they can. So here we are coming through the stadium section. Little Greavy taking a big gamble here, opting to stay on the medium tyres, which are pretty worn out. But he's 4 places ahead of Aldrich Avist, who's really going to be the big contender here at the end of this race. Aldrich Avist is going to have much better pace than these 4 guys in front of him. Can Little Greavy get away before Aldrich Avist comes after him? Here we come then, out onto the start-finish straight. It's once again green, green, green here in Mexico City. Little Greavy is going to lead us up towards turn 1. Enmorph, though, has got a lovely run on Little Greavy up towards the first corner. Oh, Horatio's got ahead of Magpie. Aldrich Avist is dropping back. What's happened to Aldrich Avist? He's down in P10. Oh my goodness, that's going to have halted his charge a little bit. Magfire on fresh softs up into 7th place, and Little Greavy's gamble to stay on the medium tyres could have paid off. Early doors yet, 2 laps left to go here in this one, in this sprint finish to the line here at Mexico. But Little Greavy leading ahead of Enmorph. Bennett there in 3rd. Tree Monkey Page running in 4th place right now. Magfire trying to pick off Horatio here, and has got himself up into P6 as Horatio's wide, and Horatio's dropping down the pack there, down to P10 there. He's dropping places left, right and centre. But Little Greavy here has got 0.4 of a second to Enmorph, and Bennett keeping tabs with these guys. How is Bennett still keeping those soft tyres? How is he still working those tyres? They've done 14 laps. Incredible tyre preservation here from Bennett LCFC. Tree Monkey Page has got Shug's Life, and here is Magfire now coming at them like a train here. Magfire, we knew he'd be quick in the final part of this race on these fresh soft tyres down the inside here of Shug's Life. But can he complete that move? He's round the outside. Oh no, he's going to get boxed out there. Magfire, oh my goodness me. As we're coming out of the final corner here, Magfire now is going to try and get the run, coming down the start-finish straight on the Ferrari of Shug's Life. He's going to get the run here, but Aldrich Avist and Magfire both coming out these pack here. Final lap of the race, though. Little Greavy looks like his gamble to stay on the medium tyres and go to the end on these worn-out mediums could have paid off enormously here. Little Greavy could be standing on the cusp of a race win, but Aldrich Avist and Magfire are going to have much better tyres on this last lap. Can they clear this pack? They're going to have to do it pretty quickly here. I think Little Greavy may have done enough to get himself a race win. What an inspired strategic choice there from Little Greavy, as Aldrich Avist and Magfire 2-3 seconds behind the race leader. Little Greavy's got heavy pressure though from Enmorph. Who is going to win this race out of these two? It's going to go down to the wire between Little Greavy and Enmorph, and Aldrich Avist is now in 3rd place, but he's 2 seconds behind these guys. I don't think he's going to get there in time. He's going to have so much grip compared to these front 2, but I just don't think he's going to get there in time. Little Greavy's got a 3-second penalty though. Oh no, Little Greavy's picked up a penalty for corner cutting, and there is Aldrich Avist appearing on the scene on much fresher rubber here in the final few corners of this lap. Little Greavy's going to lose the win, we know that for sure. He's got a penalty. Aldrich Avist has also got a penalty. I think Enmorph could be on for a win here. Out of the last corner we come here at Mexico City for round 17 of the Formula 1 League here at Motive. Little Greavy takes a win on the track, but Enmorph comes over the line to take his first win here at Motive on the penalties. Enmorph gets it. And in the end, the strategic choice from Little Groovy Enmorph to stay on the mediums has paid off, but Enmorph takes the win. Bennett gets a podium after doing 16 laps on one set of soft tyres. Incredible driving from Bennett LCSC. Magfire 4th, Aldrich Avis 5th, followed by Horatio 6th. Then Matty Pitt 7th, Shuggleside comes over in 8th. Rednass in 9th. Clarky Boy gets the final point in 10th. Tree Monkey Page in 11th, Mr. Basil 12th. Joram in 13th, not the race for Joram. A nightmare of a night for him after he was battling out with the lead with Aldrich Avis. Aldrich Avis robbed of a win here, really, due to the late safety car. Derby Bay in 14th place, and Raki completes the classification. 15 cars made it to the end from the 20 that started. What a night here at Motive, though, for the Formula 1 League. What a race, guys. Hopefully the guys who watch this, who were racing in this, enjoyed watching this back. Guys, if you did, please drop a like and share this with your friends and your family, and get them to check out what you're up to on a Friday night here on the Formula 1 game. Also, a big thank you to those who watched us live, to those who commented on the stream. SLP, Simon Blair, that's the Mutts Nuts. Cheers, Phil. Take me out, then retire. Scooter Ripple, also Raki, Bobby as well, Mr. Basil, Barry. Thank you guys for chiming in. We'll see you in the next one. We'll be back in about an hour's time for the touring cars on project cars. If you're not really a fan of project cars, make sure you join us on Monday night for the Realistic XL League, and we'll be next back for the Motive F1 League next Friday. But from all of us, thank you very much, and we will see you later.